Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm going to use the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Already shuffled the cards. Let's go ahead and get them out here. We're getting that double thing going on here. I don't know. I don't want to put this one out, but like, I want to touch it, but I don't want to put it out. That's kind of weird. We'll find out. Maybe it'll pop out later. Did I shuffle these? Yeah, I guess I did. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, you don't have like an overall for the whole thing, but as you're coming into it, well, I don't. Let's just see what's happening, because I don't feel like you have an overall energy. It kind of happens as things occur. You kind of react to them, is what I'm getting here. This is what we're coming in with. The world with the Four of Pentacles. This is in the action line. I'm getting there's resistance to this change, but like when the world moves forward, it's kind of like the end of the day. When the sun goes down, the sun goes down. You can't stop it. Like the sun goes down, the sun goes down. And I feel like that's what's happening here. And I don't feel like you're fighting that in any sense, but I feel like there's resistance to this change. Generally, the whole outcome of the change itself, there's resistance to it, which will probably make more sense to you if this is hitting. Like there's just resistance to this change, but the world, like the sun going down, there's no stopping it. And I feel like you're completely on board with that. You're just kind of like, it's not about liking it or not liking it. It's just the sun's going down. There's just nothing you can't stop it. But there's resistance here. The resistance before. There's resistance knowing it's happening. It's so like, for example, where I am in New York right now, the sun goes down pretty much at 5 o'clock, and I don't like it. Doesn't matter that I don't like it. It's still going to happen. So this is kind of like the 4 o'clock time. This is what's happening, like just before the sun goes down. There's a lot of resistance. Do not want the change. Do not want it to happen. Sun goes down, change happened, and you're in it. It's when it's happened, when the change has occurred, that's when you start getting involved. Because I'm getting here, there's a lot going on here. I feel like you're a stronger piece to this in the sense of like, so the sun went down, time to turn on some lights. Can't see anything if I don't turn on some lights. I feel like that's you saying, you know what, turn on the lights. In fact, you're probably just turning on the lights. Meanwhile, people are like squinting and doing that little thing where like, oh, it's so bright, blah. People are still resisting. I just feel like, I don't know if this is coming across correctly, because it's almost kind of like comical. The people are still fighting it. And you're kind of like, listen, the sun went down. I don't see, why are we going to just sit here in the dark? It's just, let's go, turn on the lights. Because I got the Knight of Swords with the Nine of Cups. You're seeing the possibilities, and you're moving forward. You're just kind of like, I feel like you're very much on board with like, listen, it happened. It's not about liking it or not liking it. It happened. Let's just, come on, let's move. You're kicking it forward. The other side is resisting. They're like, it's unlikely in the sense of like, they don't want to be a part of it. They're trying, like, I feel like the sun's gone down, but they're still fighting it. And I feel like you're looking at them like, I don't know what you're fighting. Like, I don't know what you're, like, you're looking at the other side or this other side of the situation. Like, I don't understand what you think you're fighting, but it's over. It's done. You pushing things forward, that's getting the whole situation to move forward. That's the Knight of Wands. This is a kicking it. I feel like this is the kickoff, kind of. Ball is in the air. Football season, I guess that's why it's popping out of my mouth. It's going. It's there. And you're getting it, it's kind of like turning on the lights. You're moving it forward. Boom. It's going. And I feel like you're instantly getting into the groove of it. I don't feel like you're letting this fester. Again, you're looking at this from a point of view, though, that's like, you know what? The sun went down. It's over. Let's move. Let's go. I don't feel like you want to sit there and whine about it. You're just not in that. You're just not there. You're like, there's no point to that. The situation is over. We have to keep moving. We have to keep going. It's time to get things done. Let's do it. I'm just getting you're very... I don't know, if you might be a little bit aggravated because people seem to be still resisting, and you're like, there's nothing left to resist. There's just nothing left. Gotta keep moving. You might be getting a little aggravated with the people around you only because it, but if you are, it's only because it seems completely wasteful and pointless. It's just like, I understand you're upset, but, and I didn't like it either, but it's, you know, it's not about good or bad. It's just, it's done. Let's move forward. You seem to keep moving forward, and you're keeping other people in line. I feel like other people, I don't know how this sounds, but the way it's coming across is like you really have no patience for this. It's ridiculous. And I feel like the people around you are getting that. Like, you're not going to be happy if they just sit there and whine about it. If they keep moving, they'll be okay. But if they don't, you're going to tell them, hey, I'm not carrying this all by myself. You need to pick up your bag and move forward too. Let's keep going. I feel like they're looking at it that way, and that's why things seem to be moving forward quite well. I got on your side the romance card, which in this reading makes me feel like things are continuing to move forward. I just feel like you're just not in the mood for the ridiculousness. I don't think that's a bad thing, because I feel like it's keeping people moving. I feel like it's making the situation go forward. It's keeping it from stagnating and getting worse. I feel like that's one of the reasons you're kind of getting aggravated, because you're like, if you just keep sitting there and just having a whiny fit about it, it's going to get worse. And you're not allowing that. I just feel like I'm not on board with that. Not at all. We're going to keep going. And you're happy because you're keeping things going, and people are going along with you because they're realizing you've had it. You're not going to put up with it. You're just not. I don't think that's a bad thing. I hope it's not coming across as a bad thing. I feel like it's keeping the situation going. It's having a good effect. And not for nothing, don't we all have our moments where we've had it and we're not playing. We're not going to play the game. We're just going to keep going. And if you dawdle behind, I'm going to snap at you, and you're going to get up here with the rest of us because I don't have time to babysit people. I feel like that's the energy coming through. And I'm going to say also, this energy creates the Page of Cups energy on the other side. But this tells me that I feel like the fact that you're pushing things forward, you're keeping things going, it's easier for other people. Because they don't have to overly think about it. They can just follow your lead and keep going. Like, you keep pushing things, like you keep egging it forward, and it's spurring them forward. It's making it easier for them. I just feel like they're feeling more of a part of the group. Like, I don't know, you seem to be having a good effect. Even though you're aggravated and you're just like, I'm not going to put up with this. It's fine, because I feel like it's congealing the group, and there's kind of like this camaraderie, a low level of it, but still it's going well because you're pulling everybody together. And you're including everybody. It's very much a group effort is what I'm getting here. So it seems to be, is that... No, wait a minute. Am I getting that right? Not entirely. I think I'm hearing a train whistle, and there's like... I don't know if that's coming off on camera. I think I'm hearing a train whistle. There's no train that goes by my house. So, like, down in town, but I'm not in town. I'm just... Huh. I don't know. That just kind of threw me. Alright, so let's come back to this card. Sorry. Every once in a while, a strange sound will happen, and I'll be like, am I crazy? Or is everybody else hearing that? I think that's from downtown. I don't think that's in my head. I think it's actually happening, in case that matters. It's really loud. I've never noticed it like that before, but it doesn't matter. On the other side here, is it camaraderie? They're telling me no, don't use that word. Okay, so what are we saying here? People get along. And it's not like you care about these people care about you, whoever this is. And that's what it is. It's just kind of like, you're doing what you do, you're including people, you may be annoyed, but they still know it's coming from a place of love. That seems to be what we want to say. Alright, so I corrected that. That's better. It didn't feel right when I said camaraderie, but I was like, eh. They're like, no, it's more about like the understanding of feelings and how people fit, that type of thing. Now, when people are more on board and they're just kind of doing what they should be doing, I feel like this is releasing a lot of stress for you. Even when it's going like this, the Seven of Pentacles, I'm not sure if I picked this card up or not when I came to it, but basically when you get things in line and they're going the way they should, and you're having the romance card above it, like you're happy with the way the situation's going. I feel like when you're happy, you're still a little tense, though. But once you're seeing other people get on board and they're kind of making their own way with it, that's when you have this Six of Pentacles. I feel like you're more conducive with being nice to people. Not that you weren't nice before, but you're just kind of more like, you feel more relaxed, like you can be more coddling if you feel the need without it causing things to backslide, if that makes sense. You're feeling more comfortable, like you don't have to be the one cracking the whip to keep people moving. You're not feeling like that's something you have to do, and I don't feel like you really want to do. It's just what the situation called for. As it goes forward, I just feel like you're more comfortable, and everybody seems to be more getting along, more conducive with moving forward with this. Like, all three water signs, I feel like they had changes going on. It's very interesting. Now, as we go to the end here, I do see, like, when you're more in the state of, like, the giving side, this seems to be mourning the change. Once things are back online, things are moving forward, we've kind of moved over this bump, we've taken care of it, we're stable again. That's when it's kind of like the morning spot for, like, the sun going down, like almost having that sadness of like, oh, before the sun went down, I wish I did this, or I could have done that, or I could have been more prepared for it. And I feel like people are doing, like, it's in the action line, so I feel like people are looking at what was lost. There's some regrets going back and forth, and things could have went better than they did if I was just on board sooner and I didn't just hold my breath and stay at my feet until the sun finally went down. I hope that makes sense. It seems like that's an analogy for something, but if it is or not, I feel like you'll know. And there's a lot of forgiveness. I feel like people are talking about how they felt and why they didn't want to move forward and how it was so hard. I feel like people are coming towards you like they're thankful that you helped the situation move forward. You might get a little pushback, but I don't feel like there's enough that really bothers you, if there is. Because I feel like if somebody gives you pushback, somebody else, like, squelches it or, like, boosts you up. Like, no, that was a good thing to do. Like, I don't feel like that's really tolerated from other people around you. I don't feel like you have to deal with it so much. Because it was really purposeful. It needed to move forward. So I feel like after things are stable again, everybody's calm and everybody's, like, the love is more stable here in the sense of, like, everybody's in a more conducive, progressive, moving forward energy. Things are more cemented in. That's when we get the forgiveness and the going over what happened, what should have done. And it's like looking at the past, and with this card especially, I'm getting, like, looking at what was lost but trying to salvage what was learned from the situation. I almost feel like this is salvaging the situation, like, in the sense of, like, oh, at that 4 o'clock hour before the sun went down at 5, this is what I should have done. This would have been a lot easier if I did it this way. I feel like that's what's being salvaged or looked at, like, maybe I can learn from this in that sense. Because this is usually a card of, like, you know, do I want to take what I have or leave it there and move on? And I feel like that's what's happening here. Like, the situation already moved on, and looking back at it, what was left behind, and, like, looking at a different way it could have played out. I feel like people are just discussing this and going over the whole situation. It's just kind of cathartic and letting things out, just releasing the situation. Are we good? Good. Okay. Anything else? No. All right. I'm gonna wrap that up there. Hopefully that helped. If you have any, if you would like a reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.